Okay, let's open up our play of Dutch Golden Age. And well, setup is sort of a part of the play. It's something that has to be kind of done with thought. And I'm going to open up with a quick jump. All right, I say yellows are very good. They produce good income. Question is, do I care where my yellow is? Not really. I'm going to toss that here. Red is going to follow the same suit. Early money, make it good, make it quick, right? Green. All right, those are gone. Now the question is, what's the next best choice? There are two choices here. One is two areas, which is the green on green. Yeah. Be able to buy a new area right away. Taking green early, a green area early, which gives you these movement tokens, it'll eventually give you more influence. Influences are going, of course, you may be able to auction them off. They're somewhat valuable auction. But these influences are going to generate you more and more holdings in the Netherlands themselves. Those are worth decent victory points, 4 points each. Not as much as getting them in the New World. The money you produce off of these may not be as much as getting them in the New World, but here's the problem. If you don't take the green, you may be stuck with just this until you're ready to expand, unless you grab the Green Guild. The Green Guild, of course, for a reasonable price, gives you the option to build in your one movement token that you need to sweep together and give yourself one of these influence chits. So it's kind of a hard call between those. I think the grays are kind of a lousy choice, to tell you the truth. So then the question becomes, well, can I make enough money to run the blues reasonably? I'm going to guess that I can, and I'll go over here up in Friesland and grab that. And yellow, not to be called out, we'll take the green, which allows him to create the people. All right, now we're on blue again, and he gets to place two of these. Now, what do I want? What do I not want? What do I care about? Grays work kind of nicely with yellows because they'll be able to give me additional stuffs, assuming that I get a green either off the guild, or if I'm able to purchase somebody else's green. Since he's actually got green, that's kind of an interesting option. Reds are really iffy early on. I don't really want to aim for those. I'm going to place down here. That gives me the option to move either into gray or blue. Which do I want more? I'll go with the gray just for the sake of argument. Gives him his two. Now, you can place, actually you can't place in those. So now the question becomes for red, what do we want to aim for? Do we want to aim for a blue area? Or do we want to follow blue's strategy completely with the gray areas? Or do we want to actually extend our own people? What is of interest to us? I'm not going to go with the gray. So now the question is, with all this many people, I don't feel like green is that valuable. I'm going to throw into the blue area. That puts green into play. Now, green has a problem. They were hoping to get this, but they can't put their two pieces there at this point. They could move them there later, but they're not going to. That's a long move. This will cost $1 each, $2 if I go from there. I'll go into the gray. It gives me a nice centralized location. And I don't have to put them both in the same place, but there's an advantage to that, obviously. I'm already consolidated them. That gives me yellow. What does yellow want? Does yellow want more greens, which don't really buy him much at all? What are these little discs here? Oh, that's the cost to use the card. Okay. Well, really my options are between this, this, and this. If I want it blue, this would be the place to be because I could move to there. Whoa, I'm already in green. Why is he taking that? Yeah, it's a nice centralized location. So if I take blue, if I want it blue particularly, and that may be what I want it, this would be where I want to be, but that's kind of far from everything. Oh, and this is, I can move there. I'll place into Utrecht. That works fine. All right. So that's our setup, except that yellow gets to pick something. He's interested in Holland and Utrecht. Let's see if there's some place where I'm not going to have a lot of money, so this guy's kind of interesting too. Holland is green. Do we see them on the map? They come over here. There's a Holland Utrecht. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll start back here. You know, actually, there's a lot of Hollands here in Utrecht. I'm going to start back here, actually, because I think I'll hit my own stuff more often if I get there. Now, yes, I'm skipping this one, but that's okay. All right, now our first player goes, and if you recall correctly, he just rolls the dice. Gets himself a 5, which moves this. Groningen and Gelderland. All right, we got to look for the things on the board. Groningen says $2 goes to the red player, and Gelderland says $2 goes to the green player. Now I got $10 to spend. I don't have to spend it all. I'd like to see what my card is, so I'm going to spend 3 quick bucks on that. Because I could get some money immediately. That flips my counter over. And I get this. Okay. And like I said, they all get played face up as far as I remember. I couldn't find it in the rolls. But it does make sense because some things like the artists and the governors kind of have to be face up. So it's kind of a perfect information game. What else might I want to do? I don't really want to move pieces around, but I probably want to grab a guild. All right. For $3, I'm going to grab the yellow guild, and then for $3 more, I grab a card for it. And I get this. That gets discarded immediately, and I get $5 for it. This is flipped over because I used it for the card. So now I have more money again. Well, I could do something else. What I don't have is enough money to buy the green guild and get myself a gray holding. So I do have enough, however, to buy myself other kinds of cards. That doesn't sound bad, so I'm going to spend my $6, $3 to buy this guild, and $3 to trigger the card. And I got myself 2 victory points. So right now I'm at 6 victory points out of the 33 I need. I'm out of money. Probably didn't want to drain myself quite this much, but I'm hoping I'll find some money, and if I don't, maybe I can sell off my merchant ability. We'll see what red does. It's a good idea to keep some cash, right? But I couldn't constrain myself that time for whatever reason. This only goes 5. Holland and Friesland. Friesland is $2 for green. And Holland will be 2 for yellow, and that's why he placed it where he did. I'm going counterclockwise. I always do that. It's just something that turns me on, okay? All right, well, yellow clearly also wants a card. Or red wants a yellow card, let us say. He flips this, grabs himself a card. He gets the $5 immediate payoff, which is good at the beginning of the game. Now, you would like to get green there. You know, I'm going to start my action on that. I'm going to spend $3, drop an influence here. I'm going to spend $5 to use that influence. I scoop these up. I now have influence there. I spend $3 more to grab myself a boat card. And this is getting me on my way towards the New World, where getting in cheap and early is really important because these only cost me $2 each and produce good money. Of course, I probably need to get more than one of them. I'm down to $3. I could spend that on something, but unlike blue, I think I'm going to save my money here. And my victory points right now is just the 4 for holding that territory. I'm sorry, 4-8 for holding 2 territories. He's actually a 4-6, 7-8. Not at 6. All right, over to green. And what do we got? Well, green's in a boat area. He's got a pile of money. He wants to get started on his shipping. So I'll spend 3. I get a captain. I'm going to spend 3 more to grab the guild there, the Schlepping Guild. This should be flipped over. I'll spend 3 more for a card. And I'm trying to win the race there. I get a cannon. That means I'm 2/3 of the way there. My other $5, what do I want to do with it? Nothing. I'll hold off. Did I remember to roll the dice for this guy? I don't think I did. That may make a difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brabant and Limburg. Brabant gives 2 to blue, and Limburg is empty right now. And see, you're likely to get some cash, especially if you have presence in areas, but it's not going to be much. All right, so now we go to yellow, and yellow gets to roll the dice. I should have rolled the dice for green earlier. 6, 1, 2. Gelderland and Limburg. Gelderland gives 2 to the green, and Limburg is again empty. Alrighty. What does yellow want to do? Yellow's got the ability to get people. Now, I'm here, and that's not the optimal place to be at this point in the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay $5 to trigger that event. That gets me a yellow dude, who I'm going to put in Gelderland. I'm going to spend $1 to move 2 people into here, scoop them up. I take Gelderland. Now I spend $3 to get myself a gray card. And I get Friesland. Every time Friesland comes up, I'll get an extra $1, because I've got the governor to that. In addition, I have a victory point. Now, I only have a few bucks left. Is there something I want to do with those few bucks? Not really. I think I'll hold off. Let's go around once more before we load this up. I know I kind of like to keep them short, but nobody watches more than 10 minutes anyway, I think. So it doesn't make much difference. Okay. So we go over to the blue player, and again, he has to roll his dice. He gets 9. Friesland and Vlanderland. Friesland goes here. What's this other one? Vlanderen. That's blues. It's $2. So now I have enough money to trigger my yellows. I'm going to be careful to trigger this one first. The reason being that I can sell off other options, but not my guilds. I get one of these, I get $5. I'm going to spend 3 of that 5 to trigger this. Again, I can't sell my guild options. These should have been turned up at the end of the turn. That's a gray card. I get another 2 victory point card. I got 3 more bucks. I'm going to go for another cash card since I have the money to do it myself. And that shows signs that I may have to sell that card purchase next time because I'm not getting quick cash back for the next turn. I'm out of money, so I got to stop. I mean, I wouldn't have to stop if I had a way of making money, but I do not. Let's flip these over. A lot of counter flipping here. I roll a 10. Zealand and Overjizzle. Zealand's worth 2 to the green player. Red. Red's got a problem. He doesn't have enough money to do everything he wants to. I'm going to spend 3 and trigger this. Hope I make money, I guess. But I think I'm going to fall behind. I make the quick 5. I'll spend... See, I could get a movement token. That's not worth a whole lot if I spent all my money. So I'm going to spend 3. Now this is the only... I can't sell this sucker. That's the problem with what I did. But I'm going to spend the 3 more. And I get another ship, which doesn't help me at all. Well, I can't auction this off because it's a guild, so I guess I pass the turn over to green. 7. Everybody gets a buck. And there's a decent little flow of money, enough to do some stuff if you don't have income otherwise. Green's got a pile of cash there. They've got Friesland. We want to spend $3 to get a boat. Alright, we got a set. We turn that set in to drop an influence over here. This is the good place to get an influence now. I'll spend $2. That's all I have to spend for this one. Flip that over and I get one of these. Alright, so once I collect 3 of these coffee or whatever, I get $27. But I still got another thing to do. I'll spend $3 and I'm going to take this rather than give it to someone else for sale and grab another boat card because, and I get a bonus wild card, which is very helpful, because now I'm tied with red going into the boats and I still have production. I may slip into both the top cards ahead of them. And that's a very promising position, maybe more promising than the yellows are. Alright, and last but not least here we've got the yellow player. Got to roll some dice. 5. Groningen and Friesland. Well, it's come up more than once, hasn't it? Alright. Friesland. That's going to be hard for me to remember governorships. My wife was very good at it. She had them all in the game we played, and she's very good at remembering things like that. I'd forget them all the time. And me playing everybody is going to be even more fun. Okay, so yellow's got the ability to produce greens and the ability to produce grays. Grays are what I want out of everything. So I'll spend 3. I don't have a lot of money here. I'll spend 3, I'll pull a gray, see what we get. We get a captain. Well, that may get us somewhere someday, somehow. I don't have enough money to fire off my other counter, which is a dude. So I'm going to put that up for auction. There are a couple of people definitely interested in it, and everybody's somewhat interested in it, right? It's $5 to create a dude for yellow who has that ability, or for red. Getting it for less than that is just a real bonus because I didn't have to have the property for it. Now, only blue and green terribly can use this additional one. Let's see what we might want. Blue certainly would love to get it. He's got a buck. I think he's just going to open up with that buck because it's well worth it for him. Question is, how does red feel about it? Red probably doesn't want blue to get it. He'll go $1.50 to keep blue from getting it. No. Green won't be able to get this. These become less and less valuable as the territories are filling up, but I've got a red near me. It's probably worth $2 to green. And it is. He doesn't think he wants to go any higher than that. Yellow cannot, blue cannot. Over to red. Is it worth 2.50 to red to get this? Well, 2.50 is still a pretty good deal. So I'm going to make a couple of rolls there, and he's going to go 2.50. Green, I think green's definitely going to go to 3. Check red again. Red will go to 3.50. 4 is starting to get up there, but producing those victory points, I think I've got the space and the money for it in the long run. It's whether or not I want to interfere with what I've got here. I'll go 4. 4.50. Up to 5 for green. Green will go to, I don't know. 5's a lot. 5's what it costs. And it's not something that's going to bring my money in. I'm going to let red have it for the 4.50. Now that's most of red's money. Red was really kind of just screwing green over there, I think. Where do I want to put it? Well, good choices. I've got the gray down here where I could catch up to blue, but then that becomes further away from the reds if I want them in the reds. But I'll put it down here because I think in the long term that's where I'm going to want it. Once I'm ready to buy reds, I'll be okay. But I'm low on cash now. Now whose turn was that? That was yellow's turn. And he just sold this. He gets $4.50. That money doesn't just go to the bank. So now I've got more cash. Is there anything I really want to do? I could buy the shipping guild at 4, but then I don't have enough cash to buy anything. The only guild I could buy that would give me anything right away is the art guild, where I could immediately start tanking points into it. Other than that, my holdings aren't very appealing. I think I'll do it. I'm not sure I'm happy with this. I spent 3 to get the guild. I spent 3 more to activate the guild. If you don't activate a guild, you should just not bother buying it, because somebody can take it from you and you win nothing off of it after that. Alright, that's 2 times around. Give you some feeling of kind of how the game plays, at least early on. We'll continue on, but I know most people probably don't watch more than one of the playthroughs. Alright, especially on these Euros.